Hey everybody, happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. I did, had a very busy weekend, spent very little time in front of my computer and a whole lot of time out in the yard doing yard work, wearing myself out. Happy to be back at it this week. Like I mentioned last week, switching up my streaming schedule a bit, moving the Tuesday streams to Monday at this time. I think that works pretty well and gives me some time to hang out with in other streams that I enjoy on Tuesdays, and also sort of move some meeting things around, but no big deal. Hopefully that will work, and we'll keep Thursdays the same. So hope y'all are having a great Monday so far. If you're hanging out lurking, no problem. If you feel like saying hi in chat, please feel free to do that as well. We're going to continue with Brew Buddy this week. So if it's your first time here, a little bit of a recap of the project over the last couple of weeks. This on the overhead in the big camera is a very close-up view. Share that. Of a homebrew monitoring project that I've been working on. Hey, the Michael Jolly, how you doing? Welcome, hola to you as well. Happy Monday. Thanks for coming to the stream today. Good to see you, and thanks for saying hi. Hope you had a great weekend. So we are been working on this on and off for the last couple of weeks on stream. Really all the way from redesigning the board to working on the firmware, which is where things have been for the last couple of weeks. And the device is hiding, but this is the device, particle argon down there. I've unplugged because of some things that I'm doing with it. Where things have been for the last week or so on stream is that I have been messing with Azure IoT Hub and creating dashboards in Electric IO. I have everything working on the particle side with publishing data to the particle cloud. I have everything working with Azure IoT Hub with getting data actually ingested into the hub. I have an Azure DevOps build pipeline that's doing some magic for me, actually doing builds and binary releases and all that great stuff. Where I have been stuck over the course of the last couple of weeks. Hey, Grogard, good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for coming in. Where I have been stuck is actually calling from Electric IO back into my device. Particle provides a very easy way for you to execute device cloud functions, messages, publish and subscribe. But I wanted to actually go through Azure IoT to sort of get the experience of learning sort of the device or the cloud to device side of Azure IoT Hub. Had a lot of fun working on this on stream, hit some roadblocks, got into a few, had some successes. What I ended up doing was I'm actually doing an MQTT implementation on the device. This is the firmware for the device itself. So I have MQTT set up with everything properly to actually get my device connected to the Azure IoT Hub. And then what we were playing with last week was actually doing IoT Hub direct method calls and then IoT Hub cloud to device messages at this endpoint. We got cloud to device messages working, but never were able to actually get direct methods called. The reason why this was important is because Electric IO, what Electric IO provides is the ability to create these button card types, and the button cards are tied to direct methods. So when you set one of these up and then you click the button, it's going to attempt to call a direct method. Never could get that to work. I did a bit of poking around or more poking around, and then I actually emailed some contacts at Microsoft, some folks on the cloud advocacy team, and I found out that I am not alone in having this issue. So part of what I found out over the weekend is that there are other folks that have experienced the same thing, and it's primarily with ARM-based devices. So particle devices are ARM-based devices. They run a real-time operating system, and I think that's ultimately where some of the issues are with these timeouts. So that's not a big deal. It sounds like it may be a bit of an IoT hub limitation in terms of working with these types of devices. Because I had some folks that had the same thing. They were doing it with edge devices, but I think the symptoms are kind of similar to what I was experiencing on my devices as well. So, not to be daunted completely by this, sort of went back mentally to the drawing board, and what I decided to do was, okay, so at least in this case, I feel like direct methods are not going to work, but we know that messages do work. So what I thought about yesterday was that I would go ahead and make a change to Electric I/O and ultimately submit a pull request back to Suze to add support for messages in these buttons instead of just calling direct methods. It's worth a shot, and obviously if I get that working, I get submitted as a PR back to Suze and this awesome library, throw in a contribution to show my support and how much I love it. And I figured, hey, let's do that on stream. So that was a bit of like a 5-minute prelude of what I want to work on today. Ultimately, is I am going to create basically a new branch of Electric I/O. This is Suze's branch that has, and let me actually see if there were any master pushes yesterday. I was on Suze's stream for like 5 minutes because I was busy with birthday parties and stuff this weekend. And they did. Okay, so they actually did pull in, some CSS stuff. Cool, I saw that. But it seems like the pull request for, the payload stuff was merged as well. All right, let me go look here. So this is what I'm gonna do today. I'm actually gonna create a new branch, and I'm gonna add in support for calling Cloudtodevice messages via Electric I/O. And we'll see how long that takes. Hopefully that'll be relatively quick, but that's gonna be the Monday madness. So hopefully that'll be fun. And if y'all have questions along the way, you want me to spend more time messing with BrewBuddy? If we get through this quickly, we can get back to messing with firmware. Oh no! Did I accidentally just lock my computer? No. Are y'all there? All right. My screen just went dark for like a split second. Okay. Everything seems to be okay. That was weird. So that's the plan. I'm gonna work on Electric I/O today, and maybe we'll get back to firm a little bit later. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so let me actually take a look at what Suze was doing over the weekend. So I did see briefly on the stream that there was a mention with actually making the sticker cards, my little Nan sticker here, making this font smaller, so that's cool. So this was mostly just a CSS change, which is fine. I'm gonna see if there was anything else in there. Base card, okay. Oh, some of the rest of this is just formatting. So, resize number component. So the payloads pull request was merged as well. Cool. So this is the branch that I was working from so that I could get payload support on direct methods. But it looks like Suze merged this as well. So I can actually go back into master and pull. And then branch from there. Of course. What do I have in the package lock? Oh, I can dump this out. Let me just revert that. Oh, let me go back to my there we go. This is just a full-on code window. Okay, so not that. So all should be my .end. So okay, cool. So I'm gonna pull from the remote, right? So now I should have everything, including the last couple of merges. Right. So happy. Wow, come on. Okay. Let me see what this looks like before I do my branch out. No, come on. Oh, you know what? I wonder if, no, let me do another npm install because it looked like there may have been some dependencies that were brought in. There were some new packages maybe. So let me do that real quick. Anybody do anything fun this weekend they want to share? I wore myself out. Hey, Siva. Jumping in to say, hey, busy at work. We'll catch up with this in the videos later. Hey, no problem. Siva, I appreciate you saying hey, and I understand work calls. But I really do appreciate you saying hey, and I have appreciated a ton of your help over the last few days. I will let you know if we get this cloud to message stuff working through Electric.io, because I think it'd be a good alternative. But have a great day at work. Have a great Monday. All right, so let's do an npm start. Cooper Clay. Hey, man, how's it going? I fought with Chip Swarm for a few hours. I found it's an IPv6. Oh, no. Is that what you're calling? Is Chip Swarm a thing, or is that what you're calling your cluster? I want to know. Then Michael Jolly worked most of the weekend, 5+ hours of stream yesterday. Awesome. Watched a ton of streams. I've been doing that more and more. I think I saw you on Robert Table's. We saw each other on Robert Table's stream on Saturday, right? Yeah. As he was working on the keyboard. And then what I love I'm usually like kind of all over the place on the weekends. This weekend was mostly outside because my oldest turns 10 on Wednesday. I'm not freaking out. You're freaking out. And we had his birthday party yesterday. And we had a bunch of people over at the house. And so I was like, yard work all weekend long. Absolutely destroyed my legs. Just like walking around and working in the yard and mowing and edging and moving crud and all that kind of stuff. Not a ton of fun. But what I like to do on Sundays is try to catch as much of NoOpCat stream as possible. And then typically into oh man, why am I blanking? Node Botanist after that. Those are some good hardware streams for sure. In fact, for the rest of y'all, I know I've mentioned Suze a couple of times, but NoOpCat is the creator of Electric.io, and they do a great stream on Sundays. Very chill. A lot of people in there. It's a great fun, great community. Definitely check that out. And then Node Botanist. Let me see if I can spell it right. They do a ton of really great hardware stuff as well on the weekends. NodeBot's kind of stuff, but Node Botanist does a lot of just all over the place, building a Pokedex, messing with Adafruit Neo trellises, and all that kind of stuff. It's great. Catching NoOpCat each week. That's great. That's cool, Michael Jolly. Yeah. I try to. It doesn't always work out. Sundays, I do family stuff on Sundays, but we also, like, you know, sometimes I'm in here playing around, doing tech stuff with the boys, and then, you know, put that on as well. So that's good stuff. All right, so I got it rebuilt. Let me pull in, refresh. I just want to see if it's still working. Am I not? What's happening? These are just warnings. It is running, right? App crashed, waiting for file changes before starting. Oh no, let me see that. Unhandled error event. Oh, that was my own fault. Let's say, Brandon, close your tabs. Properly stop other jobs before you do this again, kind of thing. Let's try again. Yep, my own fault. My own fault. All right, refresh now. Cool, it all looks nice. I'm not getting any data in right now because I'm not actually running the firmware, but so we can branch from here. All right, so let me check NoOpCat's contribution guidelines real quick to see if they have anything about how to name branches. Because I want to make sure that I respect the contribution guidelines. Installation, fine. Did all that. I'm running. Built-in device and hub simulator. Oh, I didn't realize there was a hub simulator. That's cool. That's great. Tests. You want to make sure I handle tests. That's important. Pull requests. Okay. So there's nothing specific about what to name branches, so that's fine. So I'll just follow sort of my own conventions here. So we'll git checkout branch, and we'll call this feature. We'll call it C to D message support so that it's clear. Like SUSE will understand Cloudtodevice message support. Cool. So I have two minds about this, as I do about most things. There are two ways to do this. One is to add a new card type, which seems like overkill. The other is to, in the edit UI for the button card type, to add a drop-down for... See, I don't know how that's going to work. To add a drop down for this. Hold on a second. Okay, so before I go down this path, I will explain what's in my head a little bit more. Because right now the way that this works with the direct method name. So if I'm calling Azure IoT Hub, so let's share this. If I do invoke a direct device method, it's going to ask me for the name of the device. No, I don't want to take your survey. Okay. And I'm going to enter a method name. In this case, the name could be start brew. And then I could enter a payload. Right. So that's going to invoke a direct method with the name and then a payload directly. Which this is the part that times out, which we know that's what we're trying to work around. Messages work a little bit different. If I do a Cloudtodevice message, I pick my device and then I enter a message. This is an actual payload at this point, right? So it could be method and then let me make sure that I have, hold on, I have there we go, serial monitor's open. So I have a serial monitor on my device that will actually show when this message is received. Nah! I did that to myself, okay. Start over again. Enter the message to send the device. So in this case, the message is going to be method. Let's just say that's what it's going to be. Start brew. And I send that. So that will actually send a full-on payload. Now, I don't have the payload formatted correctly. Because on the firmware side, the endpoints here are different. Well, the endpoints aren't different. They go to the same endpoint because that's the way the MQTT works, but my topic filters are different. So the way that this ends up getting read on the firmware side is here. I'm printing out the topic and the payload. Printing out the payload incorrectly, but whatever. So I think what I actually want to do on the electric I/O side is just add on full-on support for messages. Okay. This is probably the kind of thing that's going to take a tad bit of back and forth before. This will take a little bit of back and forth, but that's okay. I'm going to start going down this path of creating something that modifies the button card type, because this is a card type, it's just a card. It's not tied to the way that card is executing something, if that makes sense. So I'm going to start down that path. So I'm going to run the tests. That is what I want to do first. All right. So in the package JSON, test just calls jest, naturally. Oh, yeah, just type in test. npm run test. Okay, color contrastor, number spec, width spec. Nice. Okay. See what's being tested here. So public JS tills specs. So what I ultimately want, it looks like the routes aren't being tested. Simulator is being tested, maybe. Templates. Oh, right. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So what I ultimately want to, I'm not looked at the electric I/O source code too much yet. So we're sort of diving into this just a tad bit together. But this is the piece that calls a post to device method. suppose that doesn't look like... Okay. Hubservice.calldevice. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Kind of wanted to see how this was being implemented on. And hub service is... Where's hub service? Hey, Frankberg, how you doing? I apologize that you got served an ad for Wingstop. If I had any control over that, I would. It's cruel to open Twitch and get an ad for Wingstop while I sit here and eat a cold ham sandwich. If it makes you feel any better, all I have here is water. And now you made me hungry too, and I don't get to eat until after the stream is over with. So thanks for that. And even though this is orange, it's still just water. It's like water with turmeric in it. Don't ask me why. It's a long story. Oh, but I'm done with that now. But hey, Frackberg, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. What I decided to do over the weekend was move away from trying to call direct messages directly, because I got an indication from some folks at Microsoft that it may not be supported on ARM-based devices, to instead tweak Electric I/O to provide support for calling Cloud-to-device messages, which we did get working last week. So that's where we're at right now. Never heard of Wingstop, but by the sound of it, I already love it. Oh, the Michael Jolly. Yes. Wings are such amazing things. And the sauces, and let's just talk about that for the next hour. Tried to fix your garage door this weekend. That failed pretty miserably. I am so sorry to hear that. I also have a garage door I have a garage door that's been broken that I just haven't bothered to fix. My garage is mostly just like storage. We park outside the garage. And so I only lift the garage door by hand when I need to get the mower out. Which I didn't have to do this weekend, but I'll fix it one of these days. I have not IoT-ified my garage door yet. Okay, so there's two pieces to this. I need to here, let me go over. I have an internal little to-do list kind of thing. Because there's two pieces. I actually want to add the UI to do direct function calls. Moving from direct function calls to Cloud-to-device messages. And then I want to implement message calls. Actually implement this on this side with the route. I see the route. Frankfurt, well crap, I didn't even think about the mower in the garage. I guess I'm just gonna need to fix it sooner rather than later. Yeah. You know, and in Texas here, I can never stop mowing, unfortunately. So I always have to have it accessible. Michael Jolly just replaced our garage door openers with ones by Chamberlain. We now use our phones to open the doors. I've heard that the Chamberlain garage door openers are pretty nice. I hear that they're actually pretty cool. Hey, .commie, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, sir. Hope that you had a great weekend. We are back in Electric I/O, and I've actually decided, based on last week's shenanigans, to add Cloud-to-device support directly into Electric I/O. So that's what we're working on right now. So where's the hub service come from? Did I miss that? Where's the hub service? Go to definition. Oh, it gets injected. Okay. Nice. But where does that come from? Oh, is this because this is a view app? So that would be under. Okay. Forgive me for a sec. Oh, it's going to be under components, right? Specs. No, it's not going to be under components. But it is going to be somewhere here. Live hub route, sim hub. Hey, Robert Tables, how you doing? Welcome into the stream. Yes, Electric IO. Very excited to be working on this today. So, Robert Tables, for the last couple of weeks, I have been trying to get and it's not on right now, but trying to get this home brewing rig it's publishing data into Electric IO when it's on, but actually calling back into it so I can switch between brewing and fermenting, stop the whole thing altogether to control it remotely. You can do all this stuff via the particle console, but I want to do it via Electric IO. That doesn't work with ARM-based devices and direct messages, which is the way that buttons are implemented here now. You call a method directly. So I have decided that I'm going to implement Cloudtodevice messaging directly, and then just ultimately submit a PR into Electric IO to change that. So we're figuring out right now how that works. So that's the simulator stuff. So that's it, Live Hub. This will be Live Hub. Okay. IoT Hub is requiring Azure IoT Hub naturally. So that's the SDK. Frackberg, I'm going to use some of that hardware to see if I can turn on the lights in my main rooms of my house based on light levels. Yes, I like that. That's great. Keep me posted on how that goes. Okay. Well, ultimately, how I'm getting it, this is done well. This whole thing is done well. There's no question about that. So what I need to do is just add a route. I have what I need when it comes to actually adding a new route. So I can add a new route, and we'll do routes, posts. Use it as an excuse to start streaming. Yes. Please. That's awesome. That would be great. Oh. It's a little bit of Schadenfreude to Frackberg. Everyone likes to watch streamers beat their heads on their desk. I mean, I know that y'all watch me beat my head on the desk all the time. I feel like that's all last week was. Little bits of minuscule progress with a lot of head desk moments and a lot of table flipping. Okay, so in general, this is what I want to do. Device ID, and then message. This needs to be generic, so I don't have the device. Device method's not going to be a parameter here. Let's spell message correctly. Because I need to get that out of the payload, and that'll come from here. Device. I'll do the same thing that NoOpCat did with pulling in payload support on here, and then call the hub service appropriately. So Robert Tables, did you manage to get did you get the keyboard properly flashed the rest of the time on Saturday? Sorry I had to bail, but I know you were having a bit of a table flip moment there too. Debug. No, I moved on to the Cube project, which I ruined later that night after the stream. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I've done that so many times. So many times. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get the firmware, device thing working. Although, Robert Tables, I love that you've been working on that, and it's been fun to watch. You actually got me down this rabbit hole myself because I actually want to do something kind of similar. I want to actually, and forgive my archive for a second, because my Pocket archive, because I'm looking for something that I was reading the other day. Maybe it's actually just on my list. And y'all get to see like what's on my save. Here we go. So on Adafruit, showed y'all like my Pocket reading list just to get to this. There's an article about building your own custom Bluetooth Cherry MX gamepad. From 3D printing to like milling the enclosure and all that kind of stuff up. And I wanted to do this instead of using the Adafruit Feather Bluefruit, use a particle device and create my own little faux Cherry MX mechanical keyboard. I don't know if I'm gonna go all the way to the 3D printing part, but I can do the milling and all that stuff and get the Cherry switches and do all this kind of thing. So I blame you for that, Robert Tables. Not blame you. I thank you for that because that looks kind of cool. Oh, I appreciate that, Frackberg. I actually have a 3D printer. I just don't know that I'll go all that. I kind of almost like the idea of having an exposed board. I have another mill. I have a CNC mill to actually do the PCB. And I kind of like the idea of just doing it as a two-sided PCB and just leaving it exposed. It might be kind of neat. So, Robert Tables, I got my particle photon hooked up and it can control the LED via the web interface. Awesome. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad. Hopefully it was an easy experience. Saturday streams are becoming a gateway drug for people interested in hardware. They are, for sure. They are definitely for sure. I'm actually thinking of doing a Thursday night hardware stream, like at 8:30 or 9 p.m. because I have a couple of I did a soldering stream several weeks ago, like on Saturday night, and that was a lot of fun. I haven't had an evening time to do it lately, but my wife will be out of town Thursday, Friday, so I was actually thinking about doing a soldering stream / actually getting this Google Coral board built and installed. It might be kind of fun. So stay tuned for that. Understand? Yeah, let's see. Saturday streams are hard for me. Watched the one a week ago. Yeah. I love seeing circuitry. Oh, me too. Throwback to my second OG Game Boy with a clear case so you could see all the hardware and stuff. Yeah, so I ended up getting an Odroid last year for that same reason. So that because it had the clear case and you could actually see the PCB inside there and the whole deal. Yeah. I wish I'd gotten. I think that you can get a Nintendo Switch case that's like that, right? You just replace so you can see the inside. So I need to get one of those too. I love that kind of stuff. So it could be kind of cool to build this and then just leave everything exposed. The 90s was a weird time. It was a weird time, wasn't it? You're right about that, Frackbird. Oh, Dakami. Going way back. Now y'all are. So this is my second. Here we go. Second derailment of the day, but I have to see if I can. Oh, this is the one? This is the one, right, Dakami? Look at that. That's so great. I had my share of palms, but I never had the special edition clear one. Total squirrel moment. You know, watch out, because I'm about to start making book recommendations. Nobody wants that. Frackberry had the Handspring knockoffs. Handspring was good too. Oh, good golly. My first smartphone was one of those terrible Palm Treo devices. The 750? I think maybe the 750, maybe the 650. Oh, Frackberg, sweet. Oh, okay, now we're going on Amazon. Yup. Yeah, Palm Treo 750. I had one of these. May have actually been the last phone I had before my first iPhone. Robert Tables at Palm Treo 650 with Sprint. I think I lost every stylus I ever had for that thing. All right, close tab, close tab. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all go on about your business. I'm just gonna. Frackberg, you may have cost me 40 bucks today. Oh my God. This looks so glorious. 3-pack of Styli. Huh. Oh man, add to cart, come back later. Okay. Thanks, Frank. Oh, I love it. Okay, we're doing something, right? We're doing something in here. So there's 3 pieces here, adding the payload. No, don't apologize. Don't ever apologize. I love it. Cooper Clay, I came here to watch you code. Hold on. And then it got nerdy. Assuming it didn't start that way, right? We keep it nerdy here from the beginning. All right. Watch me copy and paste. Watch me copy and paste code, because y'all want to watch me poorly typing. Okay. Not saying either way. You don't have to. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, yeah, so payload, request body, device method payload. We're gonna give this one a different name. It'll be device message payload. Oh, come on. In fact, let me just, no, I don't wanna do that. Device message payload. Okay, payload exists, great. Okay, and then params. So I don't think, I don't believe that when you send cloud to device messages that there is a timeout. So let's look at that real quick. Why did it reload when I just clicked on it? Oh, these docs. Oh my gosh. Sorry, y'all. Can I? Cloud to device. Okay. All right. Cloud to device messages, one-way notifications to the device app. That's what I need. That's what I need. So there is a message expiration. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So in my handy dandy little, you know, it'd be probably help myself by actually formatting the payload properly so that I can see it. So let's jump over to firmware real quick and actually not mess with this. So go back into the firmware piece. Oh wait, I was actually getting the payload here, wasn't I? Well, either way. Let me send another message. Invoke, here it is. Send Cloudtodevice message. Enter message. So if I pass in method name of brew buddy, or no, start. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, so that's all that comes in the payload. It was just empty. And the topic looks like this. Devices, device name, messages, device bound. So there is no timeout. That was ultimately what I was trying to get at, is whether or not it's required to send a timeout. So all that's going to be in the message frames is the payload. And that's that. So now we should be able to do, right? Zoom in, constant method params, hub service. Okay. So hub service dot. Okay. What are we using here? Oh yeah, the Azure IoT Hub SDK. Ooh, NPM did a redesign. Oh, I like this. Nonchalantly performs magic. Nerdy pun oh, let's just click on this for the next hour. Nerdy pun mavens. Noisy pirate mutiny. NPM pretty much. That was probably my favorite. NPM pretty much. Nice philanthropist metalhead. Ah, I wish Adrian Hall was in here right now. That's one I'd give to Adrian. Nice philanthropist metalhead. Nonconformist propaganda machine. Cooper Clay, I got naps per month. Oh. Way too close to zero for my taste. Naps, I wish I had more. Nerds publishing monstrosities. Okay, I gotta stop. Nurturing Pluto's Martians. One more. Negligent pachinko machine. We're gonna end on that one. Okay. Azure IoT. Very nice. Very nice NPM. Time on site. Their time on site analytics just went up through the roof. I just want to go to the right place for that API reference documentation. There we go. I got not pancake mix. It's not pancake mix. That's right. That's right. Okay, device. No, that's not what I want. So call device method. So I just want to see where the call device method is coming from. Oh, give me that. All right. Seriously? Let's find out where this is coming from. We're just spelunking right now. So it's calling start server. And the hub service is the SDK, is it not? Come on, hold on. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, hold on. I'm missing something here. Start service with the hub option. Yeah, hub options. Sim Hub, Live Hub. This is going to be in Live Hub. Registry client. Generate receivers. It's all fine. It all makes sense. Nearly pickled module. I like that. The module is fermenting. It's fermenting. It's not done yet. It's still pickling. I like that. I wonder why Cloudtodevice method is not in here. This is like 80% of, I think the effort here is going to be figuring out the name of the friggin' method on the hub service. Uh-oh. He opened up node modules, everybody. Oh, shield your eyes. Isn't it Python that has the pickle module? Do they? Isn't it Pippi? Here we go. I'm getting derailed again. What is it? Hide those node modules. That's right. You gotta leave enough space for the Holy Spirit between you and those node modules. Oh man. Pippi? I don't know how to do it. Bye. No, whatever. Maybe there's pickle. Yes. I think you're right, Cooper Clay. Just want to know. I'm shocked at how easy it is to distract you. Clay says, I guess that's what it happens when you work from home. It's super easy to distract me, which is why when I go to San Francisco to go to the particle office, I get nothing done. Absolutely nothing done. But y'all be surprised, I can actually maintain focus really well when I'm not streaming. I don't let myself get distracted too much. But I have no way to prove that, so you just have to take my word for it. Really though, I promise. I really do. Oh, where is this? Where is Cloudtodevice method? Here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right, so this is actually something I need to add as an interface onto Live Hub and on the Sim Hub. Cool. Love that. I love the way that's implemented. Because Suze is brilliant, y'all. We all knew this already. Suze is a very, 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 very smart developer. So this is great. Streaming kind of requires distraction. Focus on your code, you'll ignore chat. Yeah, for sure, Michael Jolly, you're right. I know that some folks, like Clarkio does, I think he has times where he'll sort of try to go heads down, focus. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I feel okay letting myself get distracted. Oh, I didn't realize Suze was taking an April break. Ah, it's such a bummer, but that's good. Did she say that on stream yesterday? I must have missed it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't catch much because I was in and out yesterday, but but that's, I'll miss it too, but yeah, that's a good move. Okay, so I'm gonna do client. Whoa! Vacation to Japan? That's awesome. That's so cool. So that's great. Now I got options. Nothing on client. But at least now I can see what I'm looking at. Invoke device method. There we go. There we go. It's in the client class. Great client. Here we go. I think send is the way to go for messages. I think that's what I want. Sends a message to a device. Yes. Cool. Let's do that. I like it. So, client send. There it is. What is this? What is all this? Is there like a snippet for this? All right, hold on. I want to see what this snippet looks like. I'm just gonna. Oh my god! What? I'll pull it out in a second. This is such a detailed snippet. There's so much stuff in here. Okay, well, that's not helping me. All right, we'll just do client send bind. Boom, great. Right? Let me just see this for a second. Device ID, method. Yeah, that's what I want. Perfect. Cool. All right, so now we need to do something similar on the Sim Hub. Okay. So I'm gonna need to test this out in both places, which I have not done. I haven't turned on the simulation stuff yet, but that's okay. Oh, client send, right? That's what I said I was gonna do. SNED. All right, I think that gives me everything I need. All right. Should. So now I can do hub service dot. I'm just gonna Yep, I am. I'm copying all of this. I'm going and change it as needed. Yes, I am. Call device method with ID and message params. Okay, now this is going to be different because send actually does not return. Take it all. That's right. I mean, where would we as developers be without Control C, Control V? Kind of rhymed a little bit. Dine on some al dente copy pasta from time to time. Same. So this returns a promise with basically just a result telling me whether or not the message has been in queue. Which is all I really need to know. So that's fine. So we'll console out. So I'm not gonna do that. You saw a mechanical keyboard that only had Control, C, and V? That is awesome. I love it. Clay, Clay, you'd only be using YYP and VI. That's good. I like that, except I'd still be stuck in Vim and unable to exit. Somebody has to make that joke in response, anytime. I hand-wired that once for Robert Table. This is a joke for a buddy. That's pretty funny, Frackberg. I like that. All right. Successful message. QUE. Does anybody ever like doubt themselves to their core anytime they have to spell the word Q or queued? Because I do. This guy does. Every single time. Alright. So we've done that part, and assuming that I didn't mess anything up royally, I can rebuild. I mean, like the tests don't cover anything here on this. But I can rerun, and then I can actually implement the UI and see what happens. Brackbird, you could have stopped it when they have to spell. Yeah, have we all been ruined by spell check? Like, I could easily argue like, oh, technology, spell check has ruined us. And yet at the same time, like, my kids use Alexa all the time to like help spell things as they're learning. So like there's an example where technology is actually helping them greatly because they don't ask me, how do you spell a word? And then I mess it up and then instruct them incorrectly. Even worse, Robert Tables use Grammarly. I've thought about using Grammarly. I've heard good things about it. No, Robert Frackberg, I couldn't spell even before computers were ever like they are now. I'll admit it, that was me too. That was me too. All right. Nothing failed there. I'm gonna rerun. There's so many. I have too many tabs open. Oh, I did get a crash here. Did that happen? Here, let's try this again. NPM run again. Okay. Jim Carrey is the one who taught me how to spell beautiful. B-E-A. Beautiful. That's good. I like that. Oh, it crashed again. I did it again. I did it again. Okay. All right, so I messed up something in the simulator. Oh, well, yeah. Comma. Get your commas right, Brandon. I'm worse at that than I am at spelling. Okay, so now I'm okay. Commas, semicolons, you name it. Okay. Bruce Almighty was a horrible movie I love to watch whenever I come across it on TV. That's true. That is one of those ones that I will stop and watch almost any time. You know what though? All right, derail. I'll say maybe this will be controversial. You know what my favorite, like, not necessarily a great movie, but I will always watch it, at least for a little while, whenever it's on. I have two of these movies that are like this. One is Aliens, and the second one is The Fifth Element. Aliens is actually a pretty good movie, but there's plenty of cheesy garbage in there. Fifth Element is not necessarily a good movie, and yet I cannot stop watching it when it's on. Sue me. I don't know how y'all react to that, but that's where I stand. That's the hill I'm gonna die on today. All right, so we got the Live Hub, Sim Hub working. We have a route, so that's cool. Now we need to... Forrest Gump, Fifth Element, and The Matrix are my three that I must watch no matter where in the movie it is when I find it. Robert Table's The Matrix, I had to put that one on the list too, you're right. That came out when I was in college, and I watched it 5 times in the movie theater that summer, and oh man, changed my life. Frackberg, Aliens, with it plural, aliens. And hopefully I answered it correctly in your mind. If I never hear from you again and you unfollow, I apologize deeply. Okay, good. Thank you, Frackberg. I know, Robert Tables, The Matrix is 20 years old. I remember when I was 20 years old. And now one of my favorite movies that came out around the time that I was 20, I'm not going to say when exactly, is now 20 years old. Oh, The Humanity. Do I remember a TV show from the 90s called Alien Nation? Hold on. Kind of? Kind of? I don't know why I'm joking. Oh! Yes! Oh, yes! I forgot all about this. How did I forget all about Alien Nation? Office.com, Office Space is 20 and also a movie that I will watch no matter what. Dang, now you guys are adding more to my list. Office Space. Office Space for sure. I'm not gonna do my speaking of Office Space. Nostalgia is so good. Frackberg, I love both of those movies, but Aliens is by far the best of the only 2 Alien movies that were ever made. I love the snark in that. That's so great. There were only 2. We shall not discuss anything else. Good God, yeah, I totally forgot about this. Why is Gary, is that, I don't know who's who here, but this is Gary Graham. It looks like he's making duck face. This is like the original duck face. I gotta stop clicking on this stuff. I'll give you guys something to watch off stream though, because .com, you mentioned Office Space, so I have to mention the Kickstarter I did last year for the second children's book. I'm only doing this, oh no, don't go there. Stupid, hold on. Give me a second. Now I'm doing this to myself. So it's not anybody else's fault but mine. Okay, y'all. Kickstarter campaigns have to have videos, right? So I did a video. We did videos for both, but the second, y'all come to a total squirrel moment. Absolute squirrel moment. This is not self-promotion. Don't buy the book. Don't do any of that kind of stuff. Just go to the Kickstarter page later, not now, because we're still hanging out, we're still talking, but go to the Kickstarter page later and watch the video and you'll see why I shared it. because there's a fun moment in there that I managed to get my kids to do, which was like what made the whole thing more fun. Robert Tables, that might just be about the funniest thing that I've ever read on Twitch. You know what I'd do with $1 million? 2 Jenkins builds at the same time. Okay, I gotta get back to this. Oh, y'all are great. This is why I think I think I'm gonna enjoy switching my Tuesday streams to Mondays. So this is fun. This is good fun. I probably should do the UI piece of this now, right? Shouldn't I? So components. And this would be in the button card. Okay. Good old view. Alf. Oh, Alf was so good. I loved Alf. Frackberg, right there with you. That was appointment view. I mean, their only TV viewing is appointment viewing when Alf was on when I was a kid. But like that was one that I made sure never to miss. Never to miss. Okay, so there's a drop down here for device ID, and I want to add. Frackberg, you still have one of the Alf stuffed animals? That's awesome. Oh, that's a good rubber duck. I like that. It's a good rubber duck debugging. And can you, it in itself is snarky, but you can be a little bit snarky and sarcastic while you're doing rubber duck debugging with Alf, right? It sort of gives you that license to channel the soul of Alf. That's one of my favorite shows. You think about that, how a show like that ever actually made it into television? Like a lot of shows, I have no clue. It's black magic for sure. It's got to be, but that's a fun one. All right. Sorry, hold on. Dinosaurs was another. You're right. TV shows were weird. They still are. Frackberg, I don't remember how that show ended. Was it weird? That was one of those shows that I'm not entirely certain I watched all the way through, but I do remember watching it. There's only like 1 or 2 seasons, right? All right, I'm gonna let y'all talk, and I'm gonna try to. So the only problem with the way that the button card is implemented now is it assumes that you're absolutely doing. All right, let me see if I can get the. Let me just tweak the UI first. Oh, right. There's a separate view for settings. Yeah. Okay. Dang, Frackberg, I forgot about that. The dad dinosaur kicked off the apocalypse that killed the dinosaurs? That is grim AF. And I just said AF on the stream. Absolutely I did. Because I can act like a millennial if I want to. Wow, that's nuts. I didn't realize that. Alright, I'm going to add... Alright, so I need to stop, not stop getting distracted. I love getting distracted, but I need to stop sort of waffling how I want to implement this. I'm going to implement it, and then when I submit the PR, get some guidance on if Suze or other committers would like it to be different. That was kind of trippy to a kid at that age. Kami, I'm so glad you were not disappointed. They did a good job. And of course, to prep for that scene, I showed the boys not that movie because my children are 10, almost 10, 9, 8, and 5. I would be an irresponsible parent to show them Office Space now, but they will watch it eventually. I did, however, show them that scene on YouTube with the sound muted. That was fun. And so they totally got into it. Like, I have more like uncut raw footage of my 8-year-old, like just jumping up and down on that printer. And we sacrificed an old printer for that. It was one on the way out already. It was a blast. Should this be a drop down? All right, I need to stop. I need to just like make forward progress and do not like that. It's gonna show up in here. Oh, it's building. All right. Oh, that needs to be in here. Yeah, that's right. Okay. In the label. Okay. All right. It's time to use a little bit of select. Option. Name should be. Just call it call type. Let's call it call type. How about that? Drag method or message? There we go. See, you just gotta make forward progress. Call type select. And I'm wondering, I should probably bind this to, let's open up the button card. Is that where it's coming from? Where's the device ID list coming from? Oh, the device list, there we go. Title device list. All right, those are props that are coming in. Robert Tables, I am using Azure IoT Hub because that integrates directly with Electric IO, and also because there's actually a particle integration for that. So every time that I publish data from the device, if you go into the particle console.particle.io for devices, there's actually built-in integrations. And I have integrations that are already set up to post brew and fermentation data to Azure IoT Hub. We have built-in integrations for IoT Hub, Google Cloud Platform, and webhooks. And I know that you use a lot of, I know that you use AWS. So you can use AWS here as well via webhooks. I know. And actually, if you're interested, I would love to work with you on, like, maybe we could actually do something, like do some demos or samples with AWS and then get an integration built through here. I mean, we could totally do that. That'd be kind of fun. Because yes, I'd like to have better first-class AWS support. I mean, it's kind of an important one to have. Brackberg, when did that Kickstarter come out? I feel like I've seen that video before. Great question. So I've done 2 Kickstarters for those books. I don't know why I did finger quotes. They are actual books. They're not theoretical books. The first campaign was last year. And then, no, not last year. First campaign was 2 years ago. The second campaign where that video was actually last year. So I think that was like I launched it in like April of 2018. Robert Tables, I know you don't work for AWS, but I know you work a lot with AWS, and so it'd be kind of, I don't know. I want to build it. I could just use your help. If you're interested, I would take some of your time. I will, you know, happily repay you with hardware or beer or whatever. Interesting. I wonder if I got posted to Reddit somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if it did. I mean, the campaign got funded. It was successful. I don't remember it being posted anywhere like broadly, but that was a blast. It was a lot of fun to do. All right, so this device and device list. I promise I'm not clipping your stream and sending it to our suspicious quotes. I am not opening Reddit right now. I am not opening Reddit. I will stay strong. I'll stay strong and not open Reddit. I'm gonna keep telling myself that. Okay, vbind selected device ID. So that's where this option list is coming from via props. So let's find out where device list is being populated. I don't want to do that. Could add data here. Oh my gosh, Clay, have I seen our squirrels recently? I'm not doing it. I'm sure it's amazing. I will not let y'all send me off to Reddit. I'm not doing it. Oh, that's too long. Just use the terminology. And I don't love it. Alright, what I need to make sure right now is that I'm not breaking shit. So, let's, SCB, hey, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. We're messing with, still on Azure IoT Hub Electric IO, but I'm actually adding support in Electric IO to call Cloud-to-Device messages directly. So doing a little bit of Vue.js fooling around right now. And I haven't shared this on the stream yet, but I shared this on Twitter. I have a t-shirt on from the folks at MacroFab that's like totally stream appropriate. It says, "Let's build it together." Let's build it together, because I can't do this alone. When I'm not streaming, I'm just in here crying, waiting for my next stream. I can't get anything done. Y'all think I get squirreled now? I'm kidding. I get stuff done, but it's more fun working with y'all. So V4. Oh, I gotta turn this. You can't even see my total screen there. So let's go call type, or no. Type in, it would be data dot. Is that right? Am I like totally forgetting how Vue works right now? Actually, I know which one I'm gonna make default, just to keep existing functionality. Well, no. Yeah. Vbind selected equals. I'm sure I'm doing something totally wrong here. It's been a little bit since I've done done view stuff recently, but less recently enough that I'm sure I'm making a syntax error here that I will pay for and have to figure out. But we'll figure it out. Certainly doesn't like it. Why am I getting, what's the error? It's the red squiggle. Elements and iteration. Oh yeah, that one, the iteration issue. Whatever. You're fine. Ah, I did not like that. Cannot read property call types of undefined. Okay, you can't. That's fine. All right, let's figure out where the device list is coming from then. I'll just... right. So, configuration. Yeah, this is just getting function get device list. Right, this is getting passed in from app view. On the base card. Oh, the base card. Yeah, that would make sense. The base would have this. And it's just getting passed via props, right? Oh! That's what I'm doing wrong. Data needs to be a, yeah. Okay. Because I don't need to put this on base. It's just going to be, oh, come on. It's just here. My call types are here, but this is, data needs to be that. Right? Yeah. And then return. Cool. Okay, that should do it. There we go. There we go. All right, so it's not broken, although I'm not getting a list of call types. Because why? Type in call types. All right, let me see. Where's my view tools? What? They're not open? What? Come on, view. DevTools inspection is not available because it's in production mode or explicitly disabled by the author. That's interesting. I may have done that to myself. Let's see. I don't know why that would be happening. That's right. Okay, so v4 type, bind, vbind, selected, title, device ID, type. I mean, here, you know what, maybe I just won't mess with this part. That it would be data.calltypes, right? Should be. There we go. All right. So either direct message or Cloudtodevice message. Right, so let me see. Yep. All right. All right, so that was that was the easy part. Because now, all right, so this is going to be direct method by default, so nothing changes. Calls the payload, in which in this case that method doesn't exist, but at least the call worked. That's fine. However, so what I want to do now is the method name. I don't want to show the method name if my selected option here is this, is Cloudtodevice message. Right, so think about this for a second. So it's going to be, what's the syntax? I have to remind myself of this now. Conditional rendering in view. No, it's like VIF on data. It would be this, something like that. Okay. If I say call type select equals not equals Cloudtodevice message. That should do it, maybe. Broke it again. Cannot read property call types of undefined. Oh, this is just working. Robert Tables, there's two ways to do it in Vue. One way, like we see here, is super similar to Angular. Yeah. The other way is more similar to React in JSX. I still don't know how I feel about Vue in general. Remind me what the React way is, because I have forgotten. Why would that not be that was literally just working a moment ago? Didn't break that build that I know. No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, instead of doing simple templating. Yeah. So more similar to templating like Angular or handlebars. Yeah, this is for sure. I don't mind it because in this case I'm not doing anything super complex, but I do know what you mean. Oh yeah, I just restarted the chat, the line highlighter chatbot. But the last React app that I did a couple of years ago was super complex, and I did it a lot more of that style. No, super complex for me anyway. Why would all of a sudden that not be working? Did I change the name of it? Return call types. Y'all saw that just a second ago. It was working. What is going on? Does VIF jack something up? You only bring things up because you don't want to assume anyone's experience, knowledge, and there could be folks in chat who have no idea about the alternatives. No, for sure, and I appreciate that. I definitely don't intend to communicate anything that I'm doing as a best practice. Really, instead, just one person trying to muddle through. Why all of a sudden would data.call types not work? Oh man. Okay. Let me remove this for just a second. I mean, I'm wondering if maybe what's actually going on is I'm not getting a full build. I just removed. I removed it and it's working again? No. No. No, no, no. No, no. I do not accept that. Okay. I'm gonna rebuild from scratch. And I need to get a dev build rig going here. Turn it off and then turn it back on again. I didn't do it. Yeah, but that's exactly what I was thinking about. Going with the old Chris O'Dowd, the IT crowd method. That was a great show. I mean, maybe I need to just suck it up and hard code these. Trying to do the responsible thing and add this as, you know, do the viewy way. Let's talk about the React way, the view way, and have these call types not hard coded as options, but in reality, maybe it doesn't matter. So, all right, we're gonna do this. See, at least then I can do IDs and not get complicated. the other Doug, right? Huey, Louie, and Vuey. That's right. It didn't sound right as I was saying it, but I went with it anyway. All right, this is gonna be a direct method. And then I'm gonna remove this. This we call type dot selected, right? Does that work? Is that right? I'm forgetting my like basic HTML right now. That's what frameworks do to you. You forget these things. No, not that. Inspect, call type. Y'all know you could do that in the DevTools. If you do $0, it gives you an instance of the current item. Selected index. All right. It's different now. Do your rebuild. And it needs to be selected index equals 0. I feel like I'm like a step behind. So view's not going to do that, right? This is where moving from one framework to the next, I end up not retaining any of this crap. Select option. Yeah. Oh, right. I have to put this on a... Of course I do. Yeah. I gotta put this on a model. Or just bind this to something. Or yeah, do the V model thing. I want to do the dynamic thing. All right. So it'll do if call type. There we go. And then we will add to model. So data's coming back. Coming back. It's different this time. We'll do... All right. I think that's what we need. Relatively close once you get this implemented. It should be pretty simple to just wire it up to the back end piece. I'm not doing this. Give me a second, come on. I'm not waiting long enough for the builds. I know this is what's happening. I know this is what's happening. All right. Oh, wrong thing, call type. Now it needs to be, oh no, that's right. VF should be VF call types method. Why? So now I'm hiding the method name all the time. It's gotta go back to the stupid. My brain is failing me right now. All right, so I can choose the direct method or call type. Great, that's all working fine now. But now the method name is being hidden regardless. Maybe that's what I need. Data.callType. Right, that should not, no, that should not matter. It should just, no, yeah, see. So if call type equals method, I should be getting Robert Tables, what is that thing on the wall behind you with the LED moving backlight? That is a great question. So I'll show you the whole thing very briefly before I put my camera back, but this is something that I'm going to start working on pretty soon. I'm gonna get my hand out of the way. That is 4 separate NeoPixel strips that are connected via 4 particle devices. 1, 2, and then down 3 or 4 right there. Each one of those devices controls 1 strip, and they're connected via a mesh network. And what's running on there right now actually is an animation that when 1 strip gets to the end, it actually sends a mesh publish message to the next strip in the line to tell it to start its animation. So there's UDP messages going from 1 strip to the next. As it gets to the end, it goes up, it goes over, goes down, over. It's fun. Yes. So that whole wall is going to be very soon filled with a bunch of devices that will be controllable through the internet, through the open internet. And I'm going to start building some of that stuff on the stream as well. Thanks. Thank you, Robert Tables. I appreciate it. And thanks for asking. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it a lot. Should take a stretch break and G Fuel up. It's good advice. It is good advice. I probably should. Let me try one more thing. I have my call type model on here. So one would suggest that that is properly implemented. Right? If I did the span trick in the example here and I just did like should be wired up and all that stuff. It's not in there. What's happening? I'm gonna put it right at the bottom of my select, or after my select. Oh, I hate it when I get tripped up by these basic things. I know it happens. It happens to all of us. It's just annoying. Just trying to get to that. Get to that point of connecting the dots here between the two. Neither selected. Interesting. So I've done something wrong. Should be a surprise to no one. I'm missing something. I'm gonna have to go back to the dynamic approach, aren't I? Oh, this has data implemented differently, not as a return type. That's probably how I'm messing myself up. That's right. So you can do both of these. I didn't need to have it actually do a return. That's probably the thing that's messing me up right now. I bet that's it. It wasn't. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. I was doing a rebuild. No, it's not it. All right, well, let's go back. Let's do this then. That's fine. You can do it this way. I don't mind doing it this way. This is the way that I wanted to do it originally, right? So we'll just do text, and it will be direct message, direct method. And we will call it the value for this one. Method. Cloudtodevice message. Message, great. Those are my options. I got call type, I got options. That's great. That's good stuff. Model. So now I can actually do option. V4 option in options, great. Bind value. Yeah, bind value options value. Great. Oh, I'm not typing. I am not typing well today. This will be option dot text, and not options, but option, right? So call type method, great. And then I have the model tied to selected, similar to here. This should work. Everything is building. Ah! Maybe this is messing me up. No, that would be weird. default. So now the call type is not showing up at all. For an option.options, bevind dot value. Option dot value call type. It seems like a separate thing, but oh, all right, let's do the make that happy. I am not feeling it. What is happening? Ah, bummer, and it's 2 o'clock. Well, time has flown. But let me see if I can continue here. Let me see what I got on my calendar. I thought I had an idea. All right. I am blocked, so I think, yeah, I need to take Robert Table's advice. Unfortunately, I gotta cut the stream here because I have meetings and whatnot and things this afternoon. But I'll be back. I will be back on Thursday. I will get this working in the meantime. Or maybe we'll get it working on Thursday, we'll see. But I feel like we're relatively close. The key point now, and let's just review what we got. We have the route defined, and I feel pretty good about the state of that. We have a route defined that's going to take a message to the device and publish it. We're working on adding the UI for that piece right now, and then we'll slap the two together. And we know that's going to be working on the firmware side, so we'll finish that up on Thursday, and we'll get it clipped up there. So we're gonna raid into Rymu8354, who is working, I presume, doing some more C++ stuff today. So stick around for a minute and head on over there. Thank you for the folks that came in today. Thank you all for chat, for getting me good and distracted a few times. You tried to get me onto Reddit, that didn't work. Maybe we'll try again on Thursday. But y'all have a great rest of the day. Thanks again for hanging out, for sticking around. I will get unblocked. We will get this working. I am actually going to stream twice on Thursday, probably 2 to 4 Central as usual. And then I'm going to stream Thursday night. And what I'm going to do Thursday night is I'm going to set up a Google Coral board, one of those new edge computing boards. And at the same time, while I'm waiting for crap to install, I'm going to solder. I'm going to do some soldering. I'm going to actually put together this basically microcontroller based HID mouse that I got at the Open Hardware Summit last year. So we're gonna build a mouse, a laptop mouse or a computer mouse, and see how that works. Should be kind of fun. So I'll post more information about that on Twitter. But in the meantime, let's head on over to Raimu. Thanks S&B. Thanks Clay. Thank you all. .commie. Appreciate y'all jumping in as usual. And I will see y'all next time. Have a great rest of the day.